it is quite clear that we are not succeeding in getting our message across.
All right, Moaz Masood.
For example, today, the Common Word message, which is an effort by 138 fully representative across the board Muslim scholars, leaders, are meeting with Christian leaders to commit to the fact that based on love thy God and love thy neighbor. That's just one effort today that no one knows anything about.
But if they don't know about it, does it make a difference?
Well, that's the thing. Then instead of saying we're failing, we can say, look, we haven't succeeded yet, now let's tell people about all these other things and make orthodoxy mainstream.
All right, we're going to take a question from the gentleman up there.
Maybe Muslims are failing to combat extremism because they're combating their real enemies. America's problem is combating extremism. We're not suffering from extremism as America does.
Do you have a question?
So that's my comment. But I'm saying that what else should America do to combat extremism? This is the question, not what Muslims should do. Thank you.
Well, what America is doing is that we are going to elect a new president in 2009 that is not George W. Bush. Now, in the same light, in the same breath that I condemn Osama bin Laden, I have been the first one to condemn George W. Bush for all of his catastrophic policies that he's undertaken. And that's the thing. It's not like it's not the Bushian doctrine of you're either with us or you're against us. You know, most of the world, like we see all different colors of the rainbow here tonight. You know, we represent all different backgrounds, all different faiths. You know, we have lost this culture of humanity. We are a global community. We must, you know, if my brother commits, you know, an act that is wrong, I have the responsibility to call him out on that. But we are going to elect a new president in 2009.
You want to say something?
Just on the back of what Arslan has said, it's worth bearing in mind that, you know, for all of America's faults, that this problem started at home among us here in the Muslim East, and it's for us to sort out. And don't forget, going back 1400 years, our Prophet said to us, وَإِيَّاكُمْ بِالْغُلُوِ فِي الدِّينِ, that beware of extremism in your faith. So it's a reality that's always been there. And in the Quran, Allah talks about this religion being rahmatan lil alamin, or the carrier of this faith, the Prophet being a mercy to the world. So it's the onus is on us to sort out our houses, and rather than, you know, this Arabic phrase that I picked up in Damascus, لَوْمَ عَلَى الْآخَرِينَ, the blame on the others all the time. We've got to change that mindset, and unless we do that, we will continue to be the laughing stock of the world. Tonight is your chance to actually start the ball rolling in the opposite direction.
All right, I'm going to move on to a question from the gentleman in the third row there, please.
This is just for Brother Iftikhar. I think Muslims in America have lived in America for the last 18 years, and I think they're doing an awesome job. But to me, it seems like you're trying to have the people here today put in their minds very strongly that 25% of Americans who say that they don't like to live next to a Muslim. Don't you think those are just the people who regularly listen to people like Rush Limbaugh, Hannity, Michael Savage, all this media who has actually done the American people themselves, and I'm one of them myself, a disservice by trying to actually undo the good things that Muslims all over the world who are against extremism and terrorism are trying to do, and this is my question.
The heart of the matter that I was trying to get at is that 1 in 4 Americans, so we have about 350 people here tonight. What if 75 to 80 of them said that they do not want to live next to a Pakistani or a Sudanese or a Shia? Would we say that's an insignificant portion of this populace? 1/4 of a nation of 300 million is not something that can be ignored. And so we have to look at the magnitude of the problem. It's not 1 in 100, it's 1 in 4. So for 4 of us, if we were all Americans and non-Muslims, one of us wouldn't want you as a neighbor, and I find that problematic.
All right,
I do agree with that, but let me take it to the other side, because they are saying we are not failing.
We're just taking it to the other side.
Or the people at least in the... Okay, yeah. you take it from there.
Thank you. Don't ignore, but ask why. That's the whole point. Again, you want to get to the meat of the matter, we have to be very practical. The meat of the matter is going back to Orthodox Islam. The reason is that extremism is an idea. You can't get rid of it. You have to get rid of the idea itself. You can't just get rid of the act.
I totally agree with your prognosis to the situation that it's a return to Orthodox, classical, normative, traditional Islam. However, the big caveat is this, that we're up against a machine which functions in various countries known as the Saudi Embassy, Rabitat al-Alam al-Islami, which is pumping in millions of dollars over the last 3 decades, which we're not up against. Yes, I accept Azhar and Zaytuna, but we have to be open and say Medina University is doing a lot of damage, which may well be undoing much of the good work that Azhar and Zaytuna are doing out. So unless it's all well and good being positive, yes, but we've also got to be negative and say, there's the nub of the problem, guys. And unless we're open about that, I'm sorry, we're mostly pushing around the issue.
And I agree with you, and let me ask you, so who's doing more right now? The radicals doing the damage or the orthodox institutions who are doing the repairing? What do you think?
Right now the jury's out. It remains to be seen in 10 years' time which side wins.
Well, so therefore then this motion can't really be voted for.
Well, no, it can, because if you look at it, the radicals are the one who are getting, they're getting the airtime.
Well, again, but see, that takes us back to a non-representative sample with a loud voice.
But Moise, perception is reality. Hold on. The rest of the non-Muslim world is woefully undereducated and ignorant about Islam. And so when they see olive-skinned males with beards and turbans toting AK-47s talking about how they want to kill the infidels, they might not have any negative preconceptions about Muslims, but I assure you, once you see that on the evening broadcast every single night, you're going to start to think, maybe I don't want to be around these people.
Then put this orthodoxy on the broadcast every single night.
That's right.